Hi, I'm Kylie Roberts.
And I'm Mel Wunwell, and we are Shift Unlimited.
In this podcast series, we will be doing a deeper dive into many facets of living and leading in this modern world, from founder to scale up, right through to leaders of global established organizations.
We will explore how we can be more holistic and authentic as we connect more deeply with ourselves, our relationships with others, and the wider world.
Let's begin. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to today's episode, which is on organizational and individual purpose. The definition of purpose is the reason something exists. It's our calling, as well as small and large things that bring us meaning in life. In French, Mel's a lot better at saying this word than me. Mel.
Raison d'être.
Which is a lot better than the way I would say it. In French, raison d'être is the reason something exists. In Japanese, it's ikigai. Sources that bring meaning to life is a translation of ikigai. Iki is living, and gai is translated as worth. And then in Sanskrit, sankalpa is the word for purpose, which is an affirmation that connects you to your heartfelt desire. We also hear in English the term true north. And true north scientifically is your compass. It has a magnetic attraction and directs and pulls your attention. So all across the world, although it's a word that is being used a lot right now in business and for individuals, purpose has existed for a long time and in many different languages. So in today's episode, we will explore both organizational purpose and individual purpose. Let's begin with organizational purpose. And there's some really recent research that we can draw on here that says that in the organization, they had better growth compared with companies that hadn't developed or leveraged their purpose. Specifically, 52% of purpose-driven companies experienced over 10% growth compared with 42% of non-purpose-driven companies. Purpose-driven companies benefited from greater global expansion, 66% in comparison with 48 non-purpose-driven organizations. They experienced more product launches, 56% compared with 33, and they experienced more success in major transformation efforts, 52% compared to 16%. So there's some whopping statistics in there around the value of having an organizational purpose. PwC also did a global survey of 550 individuals, and one of the findings is that 63% of employees feel motivated when they're working for an organization that has a clearly defined purpose beyond profit.
And there's good reason for this. So when it comes to working in an organization, it's really important that people are clear about why it exists, what its vision is, how it plans to get there, how to behave, all sorts of areas where it shows that if you have more clarity, it's just much easier to do the right thing more of the time. In fact, there's a model that brings this to life. It's called the alignment model. And researchers were looking at all over the world, what's the difference between organizations that outperform the market versus organizations that either stay growing at the size of the market or underperform. So what the researchers did was they kind of put organizations in three buckets. Bucket C, which was declining businesses, bucket B, which was businesses that grew at the same rate as the market, and bucket A were the organizations that were outperforming. And what they found common with the C bucketed business, the ones that weren't doing so well, was that they were firefighting all the time and they were so busy focused on the here and now and what was happening this week that they didn't make the time to get clarity around their future at all. They didn't set a vision or a clear purpose. They didn't put strategies in place. They were literally just firefighting the majority of the time. When they looked at the B bucket organizations, the ones that were growing at the same size as the market, they discovered that they were taking the time to set a vision for the business. They were putting strategies in place and actions and owners. So this is the logical part of strategic planning, if you like. So they would put a vision in place, but rarely did they have a purpose. It was just more of a kind of factual, what's our vision? What are our strategies to achieve it? And who's doing what to support the plan? So the businesses that were in the A bucket, the outperforming the market, they found this startling fact about those businesses. And that was that these businesses were purpose-led. So they really took the time to explore, why do we exist that's beyond profit? That means we're doing something meaningful in the world as we do our work. So they would set a really clear purpose, oftentimes really taking the time to engage with the whole organization in order to do that and make sure it was aligned with everyone. They would then, of course, have an ambitious vision, strategies to achieve it, and they spent as much time focused on, how do we need to behave? So culture was really important to these organizations as well. So the values of the organization and the behaviors were really clearly understood and kept alive on a day-to-day basis. So this is the alignment model, and it just demonstrates and brings to life why having a purpose gives the kind of impact that Kylie's just been talking around in her statistics. So when we look at a company purpose, a way to do it is to really think about a number of different questions. The first one being, what does the world really need right now? What as a company are we really good at? How can the company create economic value? And what are the people in the organization really passionate about? When we explore those 4 questions all together, you find a sweet spot in the middle of all of these questions. So the purpose answers the question, what does the world need that we're really good at, that we're passionate about, where we can create economic value?
So there's some beautiful examples of purpose statements out there in the world with organizations that are living in this way that is purposeful and beyond profit. And wherever you are in the world, I'm sure you'll be able to think of some examples that you know personally as well. Here are some that Mel and I really like. Patagonia is always the top of our list when it comes to talking about purpose. They have had a purposeful business beyond profit since they began back in the 80s and 90s. So it's been a long time. They really are the pioneers here when it comes to purposeful businesses. And their purpose has changed in the way its statement is made over the years. So it used to be something along the lines of, we exist to create the best quality products and do no unnecessary harm to the environment. And more recently, their CEO has declared that all profits are going to be dedicated and committed to serving climate change or stopping climate change. And so now when you look at their website and you look at their stories, their purpose statement is still very similar, but it comes across as protecting our home planet. Our planet is the only stakeholder for our business. We partner with grassroots organizations and frontline communities to restore lands, air, and water to a state of health. It's our favorite, and you can see why. And when you think about what they sell mountaineering clothes and products, but they exist for a whole different reason than selling those products alone. Harley Davidson's a brand that most of you will recognize. Their purpose statement is, fulfilling dreams of personal freedom is more than a phase. It's our purpose and our passion. Lego say that our ultimate purpose is to inspire and develop children to think creatively, to reason systematically, and release their potential to shape their own future, experiencing the endless human possibility. I love that. There's a business that is a B Corp, and they are called Flowerbox, and their purpose statement is committed to creating positive social and environmental impact one bouquet at a time through our unique cut to order zero waste model. Tom's, I don't know about you, but I own a pair of Tom's shoes. Their purpose statement is we believe in a more equitable world, and that's why Tom's invests 1/3 of its profits for grassroots good. They too are a B Corp. And then Shift Unlimited, our business. Our purpose statement in Shift Unlimited is to deepen the connection leaders have with themselves, others, and the wider world.
And why does having an organizational purpose make such a difference? Well, given the world that we live in today and the amount we hear on the news about what's happening to it, modern leaders are starting to really think about how do we make businesses a place that does good. It's not just a single stakeholder-led business anymore. So modern leadership has strong agendas around social and environmental change and social environmental good, as well as making profit. Of course, organizations need to make money in order to keep doing business. It's just most organizations are realizing that shouldn't be the purpose of the business. It should be a result of having a really good purpose. And when we have that, it creates energy in the business that really excites people, that has them more loyal, more determined, more creative, more passionate about what they're doing. And we've got examples of clients that we're working with that just have the most beautiful purposes. One organization, which is in a oil and gas business, their purpose is tackling the biggest challenges of our time. And another one that's in sustainable packaging says, we make really cool stuff from grass. So it sets the tone for the strategy, for the culture, the behaviors and values of the organization, and keeps the organization fresh and focused on doing the right thing. It can also be beneficial from a PR and marketing perspective. More and more today, people want to buy from and invest in businesses that are doing good in the world and are really thoughtful about what they do and how they do it. So what should an organization do first if they are considering creating a powerful and purposeful organization? The start point we would definitely recommend is engage the people in the organization on a conversation around the purpose. In the olden days, I think senior leaders used to go off into a darkened room, come back and announce visions and things like that to the organization, and then wonder why there's not a lot of buy-in to the vision. So there's a lot of evidence now that supports that if you take the time and have the conversation and engage people, it has a much bigger impact. Also consider the future of the industry that you're in and the future of your business. What do you want to stand for? How can the industry do good in the world and make a positive difference? And when you can answer those questions, then the clarity should start to bubble up. And of course, that's the work Kylie and I do as well. We spend time with organizations in all of these areas we've talked about in the alignment model. So you could, of course, just get in touch with us and we could support you with this.
So also in today's episode, we want to spend some time on our individual purpose. And just like with the words we talked about before, ikigai being your worth and what your reason for living, your raison d'etre, your true north, your sankalpa, all of that is very much the same for us when we create an individual purpose. It's an overarching sense of what matters in our life. A journal called Psychosomatic Medicine found that when people have a greater sense of purpose individually, they have a lesser incidence of cardiovascular disease and a lower mortality rate. I mean, that's massive. In addition, a recent study by the University of Pennsylvania found that when people had a greater sense of individual purpose, they experienced much less loneliness and made much better lifestyle choices for themselves. Generally, a purpose is a belief that your life matters and that you make a difference. It's a sense of being guided by meaningful values and transcends any role that you have, such as a parent or a teacher or a leader. So, quite often, if Mel and I are working one to one with an individual and their purpose statement is heading towards being a great parent, we admire them for, there's a lot of admiration there around that being a great parent is definitely needed in this world. And then it's more than that, though. Like we exist more than our roles that we hold in our lives.
Agreed. And having a clear purpose influences the decisions you make, the actions you take, what you say and don't say. It can influence absolutely everything. It can help us to choose the right role in the right company for a career. It can help you to choose where you live, how you spend your downtime, who you spend your time with. Over the years, we've helped lots of clients to find their true north. They are varied and different. No two purposes have been the same in our experience. And we've tried, and we do have a tried and tested approach we use with our coaching clients that enables them to really discover their true north. Some of the questions we ask people to really think about is, what are you passionate about? What were you passionate about as a child? And what did you want to be as a child when you grew up? What are the things that really matter that are happening in the world? And who are the people you most want to spend time with doing meaningful work? They're just a few examples of questions that we ask. So Kylie, did you
can share? Yeah.
Yeah, Kylie, did you want to share your personal purpose statement?
Yeah, I'm happy to. My personal purpose statement is to bring love and to be love. And that means to show love as well. So it's a lot about love for me.
And for me, it's making a difference by growing and coming from a place of love and compassion and helping others to expand their connection to themselves and others and the wider world.
It's beautiful. And for the two of us, there is a lot of our personal purpose in the work that we do at Shift Unlimited. And what this means is that our work is extremely fulfilling for us both personally. And it doesn't really feel like work to us most of the time. It's living our purpose every day and then linking it in with Shift Unlimited's purpose to support leaders in creating their own deeper connection to themselves, others, and the wider world. We hope you have a lot of fun exploring both your organizational purpose and your personal purpose. And do get in touch with us if you'd like any support with that. Thank you so much for being with us in this episode today. Click to subscribe to our channel and come over and follow us on Instagram, where we share little bits and pieces like this every week with you. See you next time.